I've said anything that attacked your character.
No,
I don't think I've
not
ever
that I am aware of.
doubted your love in the sense that I know you do. Sometimes your choices, like just do the dishes.
My man hands.
Yeah, but your stomach just gurgled, which is totally like, that's on me. So we'll just go ahead and exit out of this. Just go ahead and delete your stomach calling me.
Bye, bitch.
I have so much sweat under my hoodie right now that I could probably refill the Nile.
The Nile?
Yeah, it's a lot of sweat and it's pretty
That's
salty,
a lot of
so-
humidity. Water.
Well, no, I was mainly talking about my back.
Ugh.
Like it's my back that's, I told you it's my
Swamp
spine.
back.
I got swamp back.
Swamp back.
Good thing I've been working out and some of those rolls are gone because it would
just flowing.
Things would be stuck in there. We would have to seriously sponge bath. And if he is a just God, which I believe he is, if he is a just, fair God, where do you take that time to discuss with them?
Everybody else got told what's happening, and that
the two most important people arguably didn't get told, besides John the Baptist. Okay, but I have a whole other conspiracy about John the Baptist being alive.
Some really cool ones.
He's Elijah. I really, truly do. And I think that's why Elijah was taken out without suffering a human death, because of the death John the Baptist would have to go through. Which was just that princess saying, Daddy, I want his head.
Right.
For dinner.
Yeah.
For mom. She's not jealous or anything, but it's for mom. So.
I cut it off to make it feel better. It didn't work.
Right. Right. Hey everybody, and welcome to Folklore and Flourish. This is a place where we take stories from 4 different cultures every day, and we utilize them and look at the themes of what they're trying to tell us and teach us, and utilize that and use it in our day-to-day lives. These stories, these legends, these myths, whether you believe in them or not, they are the foundation to our myth building, our story building, and our character building of our Legends Reborn Chronicles. So welcome in. Today is January 7th. Today's theme, it is still in the middle of winter. Any of you who have not been here before, the winter months are all about the months between worlds. They are all about the seeker crossing the veil. So crossing into your new becoming. I mean, we know this is year 1 of a new 9-year cycle. So we're all kind of crossing into that. It is our last day of week 1, the awakening, crossing that threshold. Today is all about that choice to cross over, whether you're going to do it willingly or by force, and what the difference is with that. Our 4 stories come from Greek, Japanese, Irish, and Persian folklore. And that's going to be our scope today. Think about the choice, crossing thresholds, and those are our 4 stories. I hope you enjoy. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor the cultures behind the stories we are about to explore. The tales shared here come from many peoples, lands, and traditions. I do not change these stories to fit modern expectations or to align with today's social standards. Instead, I present them as they were told, sometimes beautiful, sometimes harsh, sometimes challenging. We are not here to judge the past, but to understand it, to listen, to learn, and to honor the ancestors who carried these stories forward. We also share stories from various religious traditions. These are presented in their historical and spiritual context, with respect for their beliefs that they represent. Every culture deserves respect, context, and acknowledgement, and this space is dedicated to doing exactly that. Story 1, Persephone, who crossed the first threshold. Before the world learned the rhythm of seasons, before the earth knew how to let go and return again. There was a girl who lived entirely in the light. Persephone walked into fields with her mother Demeter, goddess of grain and growing things. Flowers bent towards her footsteps. The land responded when she laughed. She had never known hunger, death, or absence. The world, as she understood it, was whole. Then the earth opened. The old stories do not describe persuasion or choice at first. They describe rupture, a chasm tearing open beneath blooming ground, a chariot rising from below. Hades, lord of the underworld, appearing not as villain, but as inevitability. Persephone was taken below. The descent was not merely movement through space. It was passage through states of being. Light thinned, sound dulled. Time lost its familiar edges. In the underworld, nothing rushed, everything endured. Demeter searched the earth in grief. Crops withered, fields turned barren. Hunger spread among mortals as the goddess refused to let anything grow while her daughter remained lost. But Persephone was changing. In the realm below, she was not crushed. She was instructed. She learned the names of the dead, the rules of shadow, the balance between memory and forgetting. She was offered food. She was warned not to eat. And she chose. The pomegranate seeds were small, bright, heavy with meaning. When Persephone consumed them, she crossed a second threshold, this time willingly. The gods intervened. A compromise was forged. Persephone would return to the world above, but not fully. Part of each year would belong to the underworld, part to the living world. The seasons were born from her decision. To the Greeks, Persephone's story was not only about loss, it was about agency. She did not simply descend, she became something through descent. Queen of the underworld, bridge between life and death, keeper of cycles. She could no longer belong to only one world, and because of that, the world learned how to change without ending. The threshold Persephone crossed was not chosen freely at first, but the meaning she carried afterwards was. Sometimes the choice is not whether we cross. It is whether we claim what crossing makes of us. Story 2, Izanagi, who looked back. In the beginning age, when islands were still being named, and gods still learned the cost of creation, Izanagi and Izanami shaped the world together. They stood on the floating bridge of heaven and stirred the sea with a jeweled spear. From the drops that fell, land formed, mountains rose, rivers learned their course. Life came easily then, and the two deities worked side by side, balanced and complete. But creation has weight. When Izanami gave birth to the fire god, her body was burned from within. She withdrew from the world of the living and descended into Yomi, the land of shadow and decay. Death, which had not yet fully entered the world, claimed its first great price. Izanagi could not accept this. He followed her. The descent into Yomi was not announced with thunder or gates. It narrowed. The air thickened. The path turned inward, away from light. Izanagi called for his wife, and her voice answered from the darkness. She told him to wait. She told him she had already eaten the food of that realm. She told him not to look. Waiting is a threshold. So is restraint. Izanagi failed both. He lit a flame and looked upon Izanami, and what he saw shattered his memory of her. Death had changed her. Her body bore the marks of decay. Creatures moved where life once rested. The goddess of creation had become a being of another order. Horrified, Izanagi fled. Izanami pursued him, enraged not only by abandonment, but by betrayal. The act of looking was not curiosity. It was refusal to accept transformation. Izanagi sealed the entrance to Yomi with a great stone, cutting the realms apart. From that moment, death became permanent. The two deities shouted curses across the barrier. Izanami vowed to take 1,000 lives each day. Izanagi answered that he would cause 1,500 births. Balance was restored. but at a cost. Izanagi returned to the living world, polluted by death. He purified himself in water, and from that cleansing came new gods. Even in retreat, creation continued, but it was changed. To the Japanese, this story was not a warning against grief. It was a warning against refusal. Izanagi could descend out of love. He could attempt retrieval, but he could not look backward and expect the world to remain unchanged. Once a threshold is crossed, return requires acceptance of what has been altered. Some doors close not because we failed, but because we looked when we should have trusted. And the choice that defines us is often not the descent. It is whether we accept what comes back with us. Story 3, Cuchulainn, who spoke the oath. Before he was known as Cuchulainn, he was called Shaitanta, a boy too young for armor and too fierce for silence. Ireland in those days measured worth by honor and restraint. Strength without discipline was chaos. Words spoken carried weight that did not lift easily. To swear an oath was to bind the future. Shaitanta did not yet understand this. He traveled to the court of Conavar Manessa, king of Ulster, to prove himself. Among the road, he arrived late to a feast and was met by a guardian hound so fierce it could not be turned aside. The dog lunged. The boy did not flee. He killed it. When Conavarmach Nessa learned of the deed, he was torn between anger and awe. The hound had been irreplaceable, a protector sworn to the king. Shaitanta, without waiting to be asked, made a vow. He would become the hound. He would stand guard in the dog's place until a new one could be trained. The oath was spoken quickly, earnestly, without consent. From that moment, the boy ceased to be Shaitanta. He became Cuchulainn, the Hound of Cuchulainn, a name born not of birthright, but of responsibility claimed. As he grew, so did the weight of his words. Cuchulainn trained beyond measure. He learned arts of combat forbidden to others. He took upon himself geisha, sacred prohibitions that governed his behavior. Some were inherited, others he accepted deliberately. Each guise bound him further, narrowing the choices while sharpening his purpose. The great tragedy of his life came not from ignorance, but from fidelity. During the Tain Bachuli, armies moved and Ulster lay cursed. Cuchulainn stood alone against invading forces. He fought not because he wanted glory, but because he had sworn to protect the land. Again and again his oaths collided. He was forbidden to eat dog meat, for it violated his name. He was bound to accept hospitality when offered. When an old woman served him dog flesh, both obligations demanded obedience. He could not refuse her. He could not eat the food. He chose, and in choosing, he broke himself. Cuchulainn did not die because he was weak. He died because he kept his word too well in a world that demanded impossible balance. His strength came from commitment, and the same commitment narrowed his path until there was only one way forward. To the Irish, this was not foolishness. It was heroism. The oath was not a promise made lightly. It was an acceptance of consequence. Once spoken, it shaped the road ahead regardless of comfort or survival. Cuchulainn crossed the threshold the moment he spoke. After that, choice was no longer about desire. It was about honor. Story 4, Rostam, who accepted the road. In the ancient Persian world, heroes were not measured by victory alone. They were measured by whether they could see the shape of fate and still walk forward. Rostam was born marked for greatness. His strength was legendary from youth. His deeds sung long before his life was finished. Kings relied on him. Kingdoms endured because he stood. Yet the greatest trial of his life did not come from monsters or armies. It came from knowing. Rostam was told, through prophecy and warning, that his life would end not in battle against a foreign enemy, but through betrayal. The danger would come from within his own hand, from those he trusted. The path ahead was clear enough to inspire fear, but not clear enough to avoid. He could have withdrawn. He could have refused to serve. He could have hidden his strength and lived quietly beyond the reach of courts and politics. Fate, after all, only tightens around those who move. Rostam did not retreat. He continued to fight for Iran. He defended kings who would later wrong him. He upheld oaths even when reward failed. His loyalty was not blind, it was chosen. The final betrayal came as foretold. Shagad, Rostam's half-brother, lured him into a hunting ground prepared with concealed pits lined with spears. Rostam's horse fell first, then Rostam himself. Even then, he was not finished. Wounded and trapped, Rostam asked for his bow one final time. Shagad agreed, thinking him broken. Rostam loosened an arrow that pinned Shagam to a tree, fulfilling fate in both directions. Rostam died standing by his choices. To the Persian imagination, this was not tragedy in the Greek sense. It was completion. Rostam did not fail to escape destiny. He fulfilled it with eyes open. The choice was never whether fate would arrive. The choice was whether to meet it dishonorably or as oneself. Rostam chose to live fully within the knowledge of his end. That was his courage, and that was his freedom. Hey everyone, welcome back in. So rather than going over the day's thread, we're going to touch back up on January's topics. You'll kind of see why in a second. This is the last day of week 1, the awakening. And since this month was all about awakening, death of old identity, rebirth, destiny, power reimagined, one of the major themes all month is choice. So I thought we should touch back up on that, considering that today's topic was the choice. Okay, so we looked at stuff from Greek, Japanese, Irish, and Persian folklore. So any in particular you wanted to start with?
So one of the stories, I think the Persian one, sounded an awful lot like Jesus and Judas. Yeshua and Judas, didn't it though? Like you're gonna get betrayed, like yeah, but I mean, obviously not exactly, but that's kind of like as I was listening to it, that's what I was hearing.
Yeah, and the emphasis on it was his freedom.
And he knew it was
He
coming.
lived with that choice.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate betrayal and knowing. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting. And it can be seen as a brother. Apostles were probably seen as.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. I like that.
You know what's funny? I actually saw a video the other day of your take on the best friend being Judas was an actual best friend. I seen a video that was talking about it. So I was like, oh, cool. You're not the only one.
Yeah, I really don't think that of all the people that were warned and talked to and everything, I mean, you see these reports and these rumors that there is a talk between Jesus, Yeshua, and Judas before Judas turns
I know why.
Yeshua, yeah. So he knows, and I think that
the book, they found it. That's what I was watching.
Oh, what is the book called? Is it the Book of Judas?
Yeah, and then like it's pretty detailed. Well, so one of them was from somebody else's point of view, but that Judas was Jesus' best friend, and Jesus was like, "Hey, I need you to do this for me."
Right.
Because like I love the way you put it, and we could take all this out if you want, but I just love the way you put it, where it's like, why wouldn't you want your best friend to do that? And they put it the same way. It was like, why would you trust your enemy to do something that you
had to
know
be done
your best friend would do
to
for
save
you?
humanity?
Yeah.
Knowing the consequence of
Yeah, why would you have some
become.
Joe Smo do that?
Right. It's the same with like, I mean, there's that parallel. God's favorite child was also sent down with the most important task. And both of those are the biggest pushes in right and wrong.
Right.
Those are the two names specifically. We're talking about like Judas and Satan, whatever you want to call Satan's name. But those are the two names that are utilized the most.
Yeah.
When trying to get someone to change their mind or question their morals. Interesting. Yeah, that's why I really do think. And I mean, at the beginning too, your favorite child, you're going to throw out there it was your favorite child.
Yeah.
but there was nothing written before that. I think that was another piece that was in there.
Mm-hmm. There was
But-
a whole lot that was taken out.
Yeah,
and that
because
was proven.
if God knows everything, he knows inevitably what all these people will do. And if he is a just God, which I believe he is, if he is a just, fair God, why do you take that time to discuss with them?
Everybody else got told what's happening, and that the
two most important people, arguably, didn't get told, besides John the Baptist. Okay, but I have a whole other conspiracy about John the Baptist being alive.
some really cool
I
ones.
think that he's Elijah. I really, truly do. And I think that's why Elijah was taken out without suffering a human death, because of the death John the Baptist would have to go through, which was just that princess saying, Daddy, I want his head
Right.
for dinner.
Yeah.
For mom. She's not jealous or anything, but it's for mom. So that's
What queen was that again? Or who was that again that did that?
Like the Queen of Sheba or something, was it?
Oh, man. I don't know, but that is the craziest thing. And I had totally spaced it until you just re-brought it up. And I'm like, man, that's just... I remember hearing that story the first time. Could you imagine? Just be like, nah, that dude's head off. What?
Yeah, because your wife wants it. So, like, don't you have to do it? Because not only is that your wife, your pride as a king.
Yeah.
You want this peasant, this nobody? Why? They didn't have time for that. So it's just like all about pride and ego and take his head off. I would love to do a whole episode that's just on the chapters that were taken out conveniently. That happened to be the feelings and mindset that a lot of people are in right now. That confusion, that not knowing why, is because of things that were in there. That, yes, God knew they were going to be taken out, but is that why we feel so called to bring it forward?
Right.
Because he knew everything. So he knew that energetically, we as a society would need to push to where we couldn't bear it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I feel.
Right.
And like moving with that, the Greek story is kind of what I was telling you. I felt like, like that descent, that being the earth being ripped open. That's how I feel like my body has been, is that when you watch a movie and you see like that superhero split, or that deity or whatever that was in someone goes to the side, and you see that rip physically, I feel like that, but I feel like I'm in this, like it's overlapped right here. And so it's like I'm right here, and that's why the pain is just in my ears, and it's in my spine, it's in my joints. It just feels like it's being vibrated and ripped. And so when I was reading that today, I really thought, wow, I feel like energetically I'm being ripped. Yeah, I'm coughing and my throat doesn't feel great because of that, my lungs, whatever. But no, my bones, my ears, my temples are so unbearable. I told you earlier, like, I was literally debating cutting my ear off because it hurts so bad. That's not even an exaggeration. Like, it still hurts.
That would have been worse.
Yeah, but that's how bad it's been pulsing, that I not gonna do it, but that it crossed my mind.
Ugh. Where you're just like,
I would tolerate that couple seconds
just
to get rid of what's been happening for days.
Okay, so it's an energetic thing, right? Truly, at the end of the day, you believe it's energetic.
So I should be able to...
Yeah, but people cut off and they can feel those limbs. They can take a picture with those energy things of people without limbs, and the limb is there in the picture.
Oh,
but it's just the energy, like like if you, not heat,
but
the energy, because there's those cameras now that they can take pictures of like your aura.
That is wild.
Yeah. So like amputees, I think, their leg would still be there. It's cool.
Energetically, it just stays on. So you're saying that it will still hurt.
Yeah, you're still gonna hurt right there, and you're gonna be like, this was a twofer now.
Yeah, for sure.
I cut it off to make it feel better. It didn't work. All 4 stories, I really liked them today. Like, seriously, I just resonated with all of them, honestly. They're just so good. The young kid, the one that killed the dog.
Yeah, the Japanese one.
Yeah. That was pretty neat, because he became
the dog.
So did he become the dog, like, I'm the dog I'm going to protect, or like legit rough, I'm the dog?
I'm the dog I'm going to protect, but he also had his awareness of right and wrong, of making those choices. So it was still him. He just was also the dog as well. Not that the dog's soul was still there, but he embodied both. And it's actually the understandings of, it's like an early Japanese understanding of purity and transformation and the irreversible nature of crossing certain spiritual boundaries. I thought that was interesting. So it's the acknowledgement of the irreversible nature of crossing that spiritual boundary.
Yeah, because once you
And
go over it,
as soon as those words were spoken, that was the choice. That was it. Destiny was sealed. And you may say you can always change your destiny and everything. Yeah, he did continuously, but that was his destiny nonetheless.
yeah, at the
To
end of the
do
day, it
that.
was still,
Yeah. And so the lesson of today was really just that comfort is the enemy of calling. And I really liked that. I liked all the stories, but I really liked that Greek one, that sense of, you cannot expect me to go through what I've been through and come back the same person
yeah,
that I left as.
yeah,
That does not mean that I resent you. That does not mean that I feel like you gave up on me. I'm saying that what I have been through, I'm choosing, and I made that willing choice to never come back to the person I once was.
yeah, because that puts you right where you were at.
And I think it is because that crossing, that tearing is beautiful in the sense that when you make it through, you made it. So it's like you are, in essence, becoming who you need to be by allowing yourself to be in extreme discomfort.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been in that past couple of days, and of course, it's my discomfort, right? Not like a standard of discomfort, but like I think that's why I've made some pretty big choices past couple of days. And so I truly believe that that is me crossing, because I
Yeah.
can never go back.
No.
And it's all of that. When the truth is out there, when those words, those perspectives, everyone's opinions are there. But when the facts come out and the truth is heard, you can't go back, you know? And I think it's hard knowing that there are consequences that will come with it.
Right.
Knowing that, I mean, already have faced one of those consequences. Just refusing to back down because you know there's a reason you were put here.
Well, and that's the thing too. So you're going to run into these obstacles when you're doing things. But these obstacles, some are going to come from a place like in the stories, somewhere you wouldn't expect it, right? And your job is to decide, okay, I'm getting told to not do this or do this or go this way or go that way. Are you telling me that because you truly care, or are you doing that because, like, maybe they care, right? But their job is to steer you the wrong direction, not purposefully, right?
I think
But
it's their job to test you. It's that guidance.
Test. Yes.
It's unnoticed because you see it as that negative. When it is someone saying, I see your foot down, I see your boundary, and now I'm going to touch it.
Yeah.
As someone who shouldn't approach the line, I'm going to not only approach it, but I'm going to touch it. And I'm going to stand there in that middle space to test you.
Yeah.
Are you willing to cross?
Yeah. How bad do you really want it?
You know, how bad do you want it? And it's like, that person, I promise you, make it through, because it'll be worth it for all of us.
Yeah.
For
sure.
everybody involved, things will get better. But it's just been so mucky for so long that now it's going to just have to be caught on fire.
Yeah. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. And we can all be on the outside watching it burn together and go, okay, cool. Now we're just going to start here.
Who's got the mellows, man?
Yeah. Who's got the mellows? That's funny.
Mellows, mallows.
Mallows. But I think that was kind of my, my lesson for yesterday was the write down one thing you've been avoiding or postponing. And I think,
Is that what you used?
for me, yeah, was standing up for myself. And the moment that I was thinking about it was the only part of today I didn't feel crappy.
Really?
It was the only part that I felt really good. I was like, dang, I did sweat it out yesterday, like pumped.
Nice.
Got all of that. And it wasn't even the negative comment that sent me over. It was just when it was done,
It's like that drop.
Yeah. And it was like
Mhm.
the tear, which makes me truly believe. I mean, it was something we talked about yesterday and over the weekend. I truly believe that's why my body was feeling this way. Because it is like, why is it rising and then dropping and then rising and then dropping? But at the moments where I feel the most clear-minded are the moments I'm making the biggest steps.
Yeah.
It's just the repercussion of those steps energetically.
Yeah, where it's like, thong.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like,
The step feels
ooh.
great, but the aftermath kind of sucks for a second.
Yeah, you sat in your comfort so long,
Mm-hmm.
you thought you were feeling discomfort. You thought that everything that you had felt up to this point was discomfort, but you hadn't even acknowledged that there was another threshold.
Yeah, another step.
And it was the threshold, that here it is. So
Yep.
keeping that in mind, that comfort is the enemy of calling. And sometimes your calling is to build, sometimes it is to create, sometimes it's to help people burn something to the ground that just isn't working, and to just be the enemy in a few people's stories to ensure that in the future, when people don't even know your name,
Right.
you're the reason that
Yep.
things are better for them. Like, that's ultimately what it is.
How beautiful is that, though?
Yeah, it is beautiful and super annoying and beautiful, but it's annoying. I've seen that, I've seen that with my mom, like people coming up to her for all the positive things that she's done. She went through a lot of discomfort too, And so there is that light at the end of the tunnel. Just didn't know that it was me with a match, Like, I didn't realize it was me waving this little match around, like, like, whenever you're ready.
Look at that huge can of gasoline.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, we're here.
Well, light this thing on fire.
And we're speaking completely metaphorically.
Yes, 100%.
100%. But with that in mind, what would you choose if you were fearless? If fear wasn't the thing holding you back from that choice, what is that choice?
I can't say it, and it's not dirty.
No, it's just something that you're not ready to share yet, but when it happens, and people that know.
There's people that know exactly what it is.
Do I not know what it is?
No, you should. I mean,
Okay.
I would be surprised if you didn't.
was
I'd be
like,
like, wait, time out. What are we doing here?
Wait.
Hold on.
What would I choose if I was fearless? So what would you choose if you were fearless? So other than that, I think I've been making those choices more lately.
You have been. It's impressive. And it helps me make mine too, Like, it's not this. So, like in the past, and good, bad, or indifferent, but you're in circumstances and you're communicating and you think you're doing a good job. And then you get into a point where you are actually with somebody that you communicate and you can just follow and flow and feel that. There's no comparison. So if you don't have it, find it, because it's friggin' awesome.
Yeah, it started honestly with a friend with me.
Yeah.
I knew I needed to set boundaries, but also hold people to them.
Mm-hmm.
That was about in 22-ish, year 22,
Yeah.
And I finally just decided I couldn't live like this anymore. I put myself in this situation because I didn't like myself, because the things that I heard growing up about me, I believed. I truly did. And it flipped into there was no one that could hurt me worse than myself in my mind. And I allowed myself to be surrounded by people that validated that. And they were great people. They were great. But when I was at my worst and I needed correcting, they allowed me to set my life on fire. And I didn't want that. It's not, they're terrible people, this person's terrible. I needed someone to hold me accountable and to channel that.
Right.
And so I started there. What you're doing, I cannot stand for anymore. I cannot continue to advocate for your behavior because it is influencing me. Your energy is influencing me. And then once I did that, it was like when I started seeing people treat me with that kind of disrespect, all I saw was that same friend.
Yeah.
I didn't even see those people anymore. I just saw that friend that had the same actions and the same promises and the same pretty words, but nothing to back it up.
Yep.
Yet-
Words truly don't mean anything.
And yet, my thing.
I mean, they do. Actually, they
But
do.
they do.
Energetically, they really, really
They do.
But
But in terms of like rumors and stuff, I love this about the stuff that's happening right now is that people saw my actions and they're like,
yep.
that's a lie.
Yep.
That Jane would not do that.
Yep.
And I love that it's coming from unexpected places of people that are like, I knew something happened to you.
Right.
From people saying like, it's going to be tough. Keep your head up. Like those little things are the things that matter to me. And I was really looking at my list of thinking about it. And I really need to go through my friends list and get rid of people.
Yeah.
Because there are people that I wasn't even friends with in high school that I should have been, in terms of like we were in the same groups or whatever, people thought we were friends. They haven't liked anything of mine. Nothing except the things that involved them.
Weird.
So
You're
over
so
all
vain.
these years, but they asked me about it in person. They've asked me about it in person. Tell me the deets. Tell me this. Tell me this. And I'm just looking at it and I'm seeing people that did not like me in high school, middle school. I didn't like. They were either too cool for me in a different sense, or I thought I was too cool for them, that are reaching out just like, hell yeah. Like knowing my involvement in the school district and everything, knowing how much more difficult it is with the other people involved, and them being like,
you're still making that choice.
Like, don't give up in what you believe. It's not even, I believe you, I believe you. Do not give up if you truly believed you were wrong to the point that it's public, you know? And it comes from that fearlessness. I cannot live this way anymore.
Yeah.
And I refuse to be with friends with people, to work anywhere, or to be in a relationship where I can't come to you and say, this is bothering me. Because if it is to a point where I can't, I have to leave.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come without warning.
Right.
It doesn't come without warning. It doesn't come without that. I need to talk. I need you to hear me. I need you to treat me like I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And I just need you to listen instead of cutting me off, because I really truly believe the biggest thing that bothered me about these people that I really shut off was, well, you're still young. What? I don't recall time, and I posted this when I was like 18 years old on Facebook, 18, 19-ish. Was called out then too, but I don't recall that time gives a damn about how old you are.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It will hit you with things that you should not survive, but you will if you choose to.
It's all
And
a
so
choice.
like this whole, well, you're still young, you don't get it, you're emotional. That doesn't invalidate me. I am young. I am emotional. That doesn't invalidate me. So what's the actual thing here? Because from where I'm standing, experience-wise, I'm not the younger one. And that hurt people's feelings when I said that I have so many people that would back me up for being a good person. I have so many people that would come stand up for my character. That bothered people. When I was standing my ground in front of other people that shouldn't have been around.
Yeah.
Because how dare you make your leader look lesser than you? But that's just that whole leader in the sense of people that are older, you know. I'm older than you, therefore I should lead you. But your actions are not something I would follow. And that is hard for people. And once you set that boundary with someone that was like, I lived with this person. They were like my best friend. I could never go back.
No.
I could never handle that kind of treatment ever again. And then to see other people suffering that same feeling.
Yeah, they went right into your spot. Until that trigger gets them, you know, they just stepped in because they need that same boost. So they're going to get that same treatment. And then hopefully it works the same way.
Yep.
It's just a repeat the cycle.
And it's just when it's people that don't have control though, and they're
Yeah.
punished. It's just like, I love it though, because I love this district's whole setup of how they want people to grow. I truly do.
Yeah.
You see a lot of stuff, and I said this at a conference, my final summer working there, that the state felt very political. It's not about caring about these kids. It's not about educating them in the sense that you can stand up for yourself. You can choose right or wrong. You're being taught things that matter. Yes, math and English matter. I mean, the amount of people that don't know how to spell their name is ridiculous to me.
Wait, what? Their name?
Yeah, like they don't know how to capitalize and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
Spell it.
But what
like,
is so hard about doing other things, you know, like the extracurriculars?
Yeah.
Like the automotives that we have here, like the
Yeah.
drama that we have here. It's great. Our framework is beautiful. It's all about teaching everyone to be self-advocates. Stick up for yourself. Well, you got what you asked for. It worked on me because I had so much support.
Yeah.
Like so much support in the sense that both my parents were big advocates for education. You will be educated. And I mean, you come home with a B, you better be answering some questions. It's the only classes you could have that with were your college courses you were taking in high school. And that was iffy. Yeah. Which I love because thank goodness. But so often we create the monster that we're afraid of because the things that you're doing, they work on somebody.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like in this case, they worked so well that now that person that you created is not backing down.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's
they
just like
see
within
you.
the stories. That's
Yeah, they see it, they acknowledge it, and they go, because someone's got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of messages I got that said that,
Yeah.
I'm so glad someone's finally doing it. Someone is finally standing up.
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome.
All it takes is really one person to be brave enough, and then a second person will be like, you know what? You're not going to stand there by yourself.
Right.
Those two people, man, they can make a change. And then everybody else is like,
But people don't
Yes.
realize how close to the edge that one constantly is. Like, to be that one and to stand there and to like get those tomatoes thrown at you. You not to have things screamed at you, yelled at you. We live in a small town, to have whispers said about you, your family to be treated one way or another. And you don't like really think about that. Sometimes all you have to do is stand by that person. You don't even have to say anything. Just be present with them. And there are so many people on that cusp of their choice that all they need is someone to acknowledge that they're making it, or that they have made it,
yeah,
or that you will not stand alone in this. Whether you are right or wrong, I love you, and you will not stand alone in this. That might mean that I have nothing to contribute except my presence, which is more than enough a lot of the time. Just someone that's going to listen, not contradict you. And that's just going to be like, you know what? I will hold you through this. But I cannot be your first lieutenant, cannot be your captain. But I will be here at the end of the day to hold you when no one else is, you know? And I feel like that's what you are for me. And it's,
who, me?
yeah.
Oh,
So it's kind of like, I know it can be hard for you because I am such an emotional person that when I don't say it slowly, I allow it to build up to where things can't be unsaid situation, you know? And I'm thankful that I practiced a lot of that restraint before I met you.
Yeah.
I know that there have been cases where I've said some things that I wasn't proud of, but I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think that I've said anything that attacked your character.
No.
I don't think I've
not
ever
that I am aware of.
doubted your love in the sense that I know you do. Sometimes your choices, like just do the dishes.
My man hands.
Yeah, but your stomach just gurgled, which is totally like, that's on me. So we'll just go ahead and exit out of this. Just go ahead and delete. So today, you're just going to step outside with intention today. So you're just going to acknowledge movement from thought into action. So it literally is taking your thoughts, your intentions, and making it an action. So all you have to do today is intentionally step outside. Not like I have to go to work, so I'm going to step outside. I mean, out of your day where it may seem inconvenient to you, step outside. When you're feeling angry, happy, or sad, or whatever it may be, go step outside. Take a big old deep breath and acknowledge that you took a thought and moved it straight into action right away.
I like that. Like you're showing yourself that you had this task, you knew it, then you did it.
You thought it, you stood up, you did it. And now you get to sit here acknowledging, because this is the application, right?
Mhm.
Acknowledging that every crossing begins with a choice. I choose to take a step outside. I choose to uphold people to these boundaries. I choose to acknowledge when someone is being the rock. Because while I'm busy in my own world and standing up for what I believe in, I would be nothing without someone holding me at the end of the day.
Right.
Like that's a choice that you make every single second of every single day. And sometimes I'm like, gosh, I wish he would take a step outside to take a breath away from me, because I myself am too much a lot of the time for me. But that crossing begins with a choice. And I think you and I, this past year of knowing each other, we've made a lot of crossings that, I mean, the change that I've seen in you and that I've seen in me through this has been amazing. So step outside and acknowledge that your crossing just begins with a choice. I mean, maybe something will happen when you're out there. You'll see that sign you've been looking for.
Yeah.
You'll finally make that phone call you've been avoiding, you know?
Mm.
You'll reach out, you'll forgive. Maybe you'll step outside and forgive yourself for making that choice. And just going like, whoo, it hurts now. It hurts really bad now, but it won't always.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm such a big advocate on I want it to stop hurting now. I don't care about tomorrow.
Right.
But to know that it is almost over is really nice. And it could only be in these end phases from me making that choice. So make that choice. That's it for me today.
Sweet. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Again, like, subscribe, pass this along to your friends, people that you might think need it. You know, maybe they need this message. If there's any messages that you think that we should bring up, let us know. Or if we missed anything in the stories that you want to hear more about, let us know. Maybe we can make a extra video for you.
Yes.
But we do appreciate you. Thank you for coming into.
Thanks for coming into Folklore and Flourish. And you were here with Jane and Mark.
Bluebacks.
See you tomorrow.
29.